Hey, what's up folks, and welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my partner Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and welcome back to another 3D printing hangout show. This is the show that combines 3D printing and DIY electronics.
That's right, this is a show that combines 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. We're going to jump right into the show and kick it off with today's coupon code. It's diffraction. We've got a lot of diffraction type stuff going on, so we figured that'd be a good coupon code. If you want to check out anything in the Adafruit shop, this will get you 10% off your order. It works on everything in the shop except for certificates and the subscription to AdaBox. Yes. Those are the only two. But everything else is fair game. We have some freebies going on as well. Adafruit.com/free. You'll see all the awesome new things. We have patches, we have circuit playgrounds, permaprotos, free shipping for all different types of tiers. So check out Adafruit.com/free. I want to jump right into the show. We're going to do more of the things at the end. But for now, let's go jump into this week's project. This week's project is a fun experiment in printing on different types of materials. If you go to learn.adafruit.com, we have our Learn Guide up here. This is 3D printing on diffraction grating sheets. I want to give a huge shout out to David Shorey. David Shorey, if you want to see some really cool experiments with filaments, printing on fabrics and different materials, check out David Shorey. I have a link to, we have a link to him in the Learn Guide and in all the posts that we are sharing on social medias. But you can see his experiments here is kind of what spawned and gave us the idea of printing on diffraction grating sheets to get this amazing rainbow iridescent-like surface. I was looking for a word, there's many ways to say it. This is really cool. It's almost as simple as printing on these sheets. Very cool. So we gave it a try, we tested it out, and we figured we'd do a Learn Guide on our findings, how we did it, different techniques of applying it to the bed. So the first page just kind of walks you through what it is. You get these really cool surfaces that are super shiny, and they reflect and diffract light, as it's called, into these beautiful rainbow effects. We also thought it'd be interesting to note how you can get different types of surfaces. So printing on a PEI coated bed gives you that coarse texture. What does it look like when you print on blue tape? What does it look like when you print on build tack? We thought we'd throw that in the video as well. So that kind of talks about it there. I guess let's just look at the overhead and just look at some of the parts that we printed out.
Yeah, some of the example parts that this is going to work really well with is enclosures or face plates. Something that is the bottom, when you print on it, on the bottom of the build plate, but is actually the front face of it. So some of the examples are your Neo Trellis case, which has been updated. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And of course, all of the new PyGamer, PyBadge cases. Got a little purple theme going on here. And here's one for the PyBadge. And what's interesting is that flexible materials, ABS, CPE, ABS, all work on this. So it was really cool. We tested with a heated bed and with a non-heated bed, and it sticks pretty good. And as you can see, the darker colors tend to bring out the nice reflective shininess a little bit more better.
Or if you're printing on translucent filament, you won't really be able to see it unless you have something on the back, like the black silk screen, the solder mask here is dark, so it gives it that nice contrast here on this particular case.
And what's cool is that it works with pretty big objects. So printed the iPad mini case on here in the translucent clear material. You can see that you can kind of make it out, especially if you have it in direct sunlight, or if you have some nice shine going on it. You still get a little bit of that reflective iridescence, but not as contrasted as you do with the darker colors like that.
It's kind of hard to see the effect there with the translucent. I also put it on an iPhone case. This is a bumper. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it really, the more surface area you have, the better, right? So you can see it's there. And let's do the test here. So what's interesting is if you run your finger across it, you can hear the texture. It's very, very fine squeal. Let me see. We're gonna shush and then. Maybe they can't hear it. Not that that's important. It just really shows that the
has a nice
texture
feel to it
that's doing it. So that's what's being captured on that first layer. It only works on the first and second layer, so it's not going to work on Z like this. Like this is not going to work there. Only on the bottom. So like this is a good example of what it looks like without not printing on. This is just printed on hot glass. No texture. Texture. Well, maybe texture is the wrong word, but
Iridescent.
iridescence. No
The shine.
diffraction. Diffraction.
Nice little shine.
Okay, cool. So we looked at parts. Interesting note is that these two buttons, wasn't it challenging to print? At a certain point, you can't print anything this small.
So anything smaller than that isn't going to pick up the pattern that it's, the features that it's picking up from the paper.
What did you print that did not, you had something smaller than this?
No, it's just that one of the pieces looks like it is able to, if you get it too close to the bed, it's able to fuse, and because of how small the part is, it didn't even pick up the part even after fusing to it.
Huh. Okay, so the smaller the part, the less chances you are, and it's difficult to print anything small.
Yeah.
Sticking is always a problem.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I had to do for, I believe, the walls for this is that I had to use a brim around it just so to maintain, but that's just like with anything.
Okay.
That's super small, just add a brim onto it, like a 4mm brim. We'll easily peel that off. Cool. For the Ninja Flex, we didn't use any heated material. We just used the, just make sure that it's not so squished to the bed.
Yeah.
So you're definitely gonna have to do some releveling on your bed plate for that.
When you print with flexibles, let's say you print on a build tack, it tends to fuse to those types of materials, build tack, PEI. Ninja Flex tends to fuse to that. It does really well on blue tape and glass, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, glass. Mm-hmm. So it works pretty well with the diffraction sheets. It won't adhere as long as you have a good amount of leveling.
Speaking of the diffraction sheets, you get them in a, 6-inch by 5-foot long rolls, and the type you want to pick up is the double access version of this. So this is the 13,500 lines per inch, which is pretty much the little slits and the peaks and valleys that are creating and splitting the light into all these different colors. So we did experiment with one that was a single access, like 500 lines per inch and millimeters. I don't know if it's, why did this one is like, they say per inch, but the other one says millimeter. I don't know. Okay. Well, it's made by the same company, by the way, too. So for whatever reason, it didn't work on that. I guess the ridges were a little bit too, I guess, smooth for it to pick up in any of the parts. Okay. But in any case, you want to print on the underside of it. So when you get this, the roll comes in, it's going to be the back side of this. And one of the easiest way to test this that we show in the guide in the video is with the 3D printing pen. So you can confirm your material and the right side of the sheet is all correct. You can kind of hear it there too. Yeah. So originally these were made for like doing like laser light shows, and what was the other thing?
Yeah, so funny, here in the States we have the Independence Day coming up tomorrow, 4th of July, and a lot of those firework pack assortments, from a young kid I remember seeing them, and they would always come bundled with these like cheap cardboard glasses, and the glasses had this type of film, so that the idea is you would put these on, look at the fireworks and trip out and see some kaleidoscopes and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the earliest remember of seeing this stuff.
And that's what these are actually for, to build your own DIY version of these, and other people use them for attaching as window tinting. So if you add this to your window, you get all these nice rainbowy effects indoors.
Right. That's really neat. Cast some cool rainbows. That's, a lot of different uses, as we tried to say in the video.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's the sheet. You want to make sure you're printing on the right side. And what we're going to do...
no, let's go into the guide. We'll go back over to this because it takes a little bit to heat up.
Okay.
Go ahead and run through the guide real quick to make sure we got all the details and info.
Cool. So let's jump into the 3D printing part. This has all the details. Sweet. So quick material testing. We took a little sheet, cut it with your scissors, try to be as straight as possible, and then you can use some double stick tape to attach it to your bed. We're using the Inventor, which has a removable bed, and it's a small bed. It's like 150 by 150, and we just stick it right on top of the build tack that it comes with. Again, this is the Inventor. It's like a Flashforge type printer.
Yeah, so some of the different ways of attaching it. Are we talking about that yet? Oh yeah, just testing with the pen. Again, we tested this with ABS PLA Ninja Flex 85A, and we saw David Chury was testing it out with CPE and Filaflex, which I believe is like the semi-flex.
I think so.
So it's like 95A for the rubbery texture filament. And then we go again over the the sheets that did work, the sheets that did not work. And then we go over actually attaching this to your bed.
Yeah, so long strips of blue painter's tape. This is going to help really keep the edges on the bed. Here we're showing the glass. Because the Ultimakers have a removable glass bed, or at least a sheet of glass comes off, and that way you can work around it a little bit better. Probably want to clean it first with some alcohol. Make sure you got any grease and oils off the beds, off the two surfaces. Another thing you can do is maybe add 1 drop of liquid, like a little drop of alcohol. That way, when you lay the sheet down, it'll kind of tack to it, which is going to make it nice and flat. Just be careful not to get too much liquid, because like me, it started seeping off the edges and seeped into the stickiness of the adhesive, and it got rid of it because alcohol and the adhesives, they don't like to mix. So what, you have something here?
Yeah, so let's real quick do a quick little demo of what this looks like. So instead of doing the blue tape, which works pretty well, we can also do the double-sided tape. Scotch tape, yeah. Apply that on there just to do like quick little tests. You can see some of the diffraction going on in there by the overhead lights. So like we were saying before, the quickest way to test this, to make sure you're printing on the right side of the diffraction sheet and your material is compatible with it, is just a quick 3D printing pen just to quickly draw something out. So we're just using this one from 3D Doodler. It's a little Jakku one that just came out. It's pretty cool. We're using PLA in this version, and it takes the 3mm diameter filament. So if we just draw an Adafruit logo from memory, it's probably just gonna look like a star.
Still a fish.
Yeah. Do a little concentric infill here.
Right, so this is a good way to just kind of test, does the material stick? Is the film sticking? That sort of stuff. That's probably what you want to do.
Yeah. Probably should have made this smaller to make this demo quicker, but let me do...
We haven't had a 3D pen in a while, so this came out not too long ago, and we were like, hey, this is probably a good, good pen to try out.
Oh my god.
Especially for like fusing parts and other things like that. We figured this would be a handy little tool to have.
Yeah.
And thankfully we were able to quickly use it on this film without having to like re-level the bed or anything. Because we're like, oh, does this work?
I know, right? So let's
Does
see
this
what
really
happens
work?
when it comes off. And as you can see, it
stuck on
adheres really well to the bed, but it's likely due to like suction or something, because it comes off really easy as well. Let's see, grab that.
And one of the interesting things that David said is that he printed like 5 or 6 times on the same sheet.
So these are the exact same sheet I've been printing for all of this stuff. So it does last quite a while unless you get the nozzle too close to the bed.
I can
focus on that. You can see that right away. You get all those awesome iridescent effects.
Yep.
Despite how crappy my contour infill was for that.
Your concentric
infill was for that. But yeah, it's a nice little effect there.
Yeah.
You can see that worked.
You know what? I can almost see the ridges from the texture that's on the build.
Oh, I think that's just the little wrinkles from that.
Again, we've been handling this quite a bit. So if you want some super smooth and you want to use a brand new sheet. Yeah, let me focus that.
You can see how good it is, even though the lines aren't actually connected.
One of the easy tips is to just use an LED on it and just shine straight onto it.
Oh yeah, that'll give you the best effect
Holy
for that.
moly.
And that's one of the draws of this, especially if you are holding your device, actually looking at it, like PyGamer or whatever, gives you that nice.
Oh my gosh, that's really
looks so cool.
Tripping us out here.
You get so many different effects based on what lighting conditions you're in.
Correct. All right, let me unfocus there. All right, we're going to check the chats and see if everybody has
so Imagination Forum is saying, oh, they thought that this was actually fusing to the part and you were like cutting around to it. That's what I thought originally too, but no, it's just picking up the pattern that is splitting the lights up. You're actually copying that pattern. You're imprinting those features.
Yeah, that's why we thought it would be important to note that whatever material you print on, you 3D print on, it's going to capture that texture. Whether it's blue tape or wood, you're going to get that texture.
Yeah.
So this really shows it that, what are these, nano micron? Like,
yeah, it's pretty tiny.
The resolution, the 13,500 lines, what is that? The ridges that are in the sheet?
I guess
per
so,
inch, per millimeter?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Wait, is this the right side? I don't even feel it anymore.
Oh, because the oil's from your fingerprints.
Another thing we saw was David came up with, he had an issue where smudging was a factor. I haven't noticed any smudging with these parts. We've been handling a lot, so perhaps it's the sheet that he was using. Ours is the 13,500. We haven't linked in the Amazon link in all the places, so that's the stuff we're using. So I don't see any smudges.
Yeah, there's no smudges that happen when you even touch the sheets as well. And we have wiped it down with like alcohol, and that didn't seem to affect any of the being able to copy the features.
I don't think acetone would remove it.
Yeah, the only thing we noticed again when you get the nozzle too close is that it did peel, and this is what I originally thought was going to happen. So if you zoom in and
got it
on Imagination to Forms comment, this is what I thought was going to happen to each one of my sheets each time that I printed a part. I thought it was going to lift the features off, but that only happened when I got the nozzle too close to it. You can see there that it like tore off the coating or the layer or wherever they're actually imprinting those lines.
We don't know what this stuff is made out of.
It's PE.
I guess it's
PE. So poly, whatever, something. It doesn't produce a smell when heated.
Right.
So
you could cut it. Obviously, we cut it.
Yeah, it's super thin. So it's like, I don't know, like
paper thin, probably thinner.
0.1 millimeter, 0.2 millimeters. So not enough to actually, where we had to re-level the bed.
Yeah.
For the PLA stuff, for Ninja Flex, you do have to re-level. You have to re-level anyway for that.
Yeah,
because of the extrusion flow rate of that.
Cool.
Just reading comments on here. Okay, moving on in the guide. Quick little demo on how to.
Getting this stuff on your bed, like there's going to be different ways to do it, but double stick tape, like I said, window spray might work. That's how you get tint, right?
That's how people apply it to the windows.
That's if you have glass,
So that might work for glass. For the Ninja Flex, we just put it right on top of the blue tape that we were using for that.
Yeah.
And like we were showing here, you can use double stick tape as well. The other thing is definitely get yourself one of these squeegees, which is super helpful for applying any sort of like bed.
Yeah, this came with our MakerBot replicator because we were
something
using
like
Kapton
this
tape back in the day.
We're just using this to flatten it out. And one thing to note is that you're never going to get these completely flat unless you have like the double-sided tape like across the entire bottom, or you get one that has like the sticky stuff already applied to it. But in terms of...
I really thought that there would be a huge issue with warping. And it's interesting that it kind of adds like a natural bubbling to all the edges. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but everything looks kind of bubbly here. And that did not affect the fitting, so this still snap fits just fine. I thought it would. That's another thing I was concerned about, is whether the edges would retain the dimensions it needs to.
Yeah, because like we said before, unless you're getting one that has the adhesive already on it, or using the double-sided stick tape with the blue tape around it, it's not completely flat because of the peaks and valleys that are splitting the color to create that. Yeah, and it gives you that bubbly texture. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Well, just the bubbly looks, from all the edges, all the features. Kind of bubble out a little bit.
So moving on in the guide, I think there's a little bit more left. Just showing the printing for that. Like we were saying, we were heating it up to 60°C.
Oh, cool.
The type of,
right here, there's some actual numbers here. The first layer, when you're doing your slice for your model, you can tell it what the initial layer is. By default, printers like to have a little bit taller than 0.2. So
I think that's just the Ultimaker.
The Ultimaker likes to do 0.27.
Which is a little bit higher.
Which lives a little bit higher, so you want to go a little bit closer, so we just drop that down to 0.18 millimeters. On the first layer, just the first layer.
It's a careful balance of making sure that it's close to the sheet, but not too close, where it's like removing all of the features from it. And after that, you can either let it cool down. I was able to pull a lot of these parts off while it was still warm.
You showed us the demo,
you just pop it right off. Well, it's a lot more hotter for that because the bed, takes a little bit to cool down. and I didn't have any problems with it fusing if you're able to level it correctly for this. And then the last one here is just talking about the colors. The way to get that contrast is to use the darker colors, maybe with the glitter pigments in there as well. Those work really good. Like the Filamentum stuff here, we're showing the gold, the Noble Blue, the, what's the name of the
gray. Oh, this one is, I believe, from Ultimachine, isn't it? Or from, maybe it's from Matter Hackers? The purple.
So, yeah.
I forget. It's not from Filamentum, though.
Yeah.
Probably from Matter
But
Hackers.
just to show the contrast and what types of different colors to use.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
It's a pretty simple one. Definitely open to more experimentation. One of the other things that we want to try is making more enclosures, and like we were showing before, the biggest that we were able to get, this is an iPad mini case, so we'll continue playing with bigger sizes for that, and it looks really cool. Maybe you can make like I don't know, like car sized parts, but again, you are going to be limited by how big the sheets are, which you should be able to just put together, you know, to extend the size of those. So pretty cool, check it out. Nice little way to add, you know, differentiate your cases for projects.
Yeah,
Super cool.
Neat. All right, that is Diffraction Grating. Hey, David Sherry's in the, hey.
Hey Dave.
Hello.
Really awesome techniques there.
Awesome.
Like we were saying before, definitely check out his Twitter and Instagram for all the awesome experiments that Dave is always working on.
We can show, these are like individual pieces that I think form a garment, which is really cool.
Yeah.
He has it laid out here with the different materials. So definitely check him out on Instagram. You can see more of his work there and more techniques. Lots of fun stuff. Shout out.
Super cool.
Sweet. All right, well that is this week's project. Interesting little technique.
Nice little quick break in between projects.
It was very fun to work on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
I think we have some stuff for prototyping we'd like to share with you folks. So a couple of years ago, we were playing around with creating a sound board or a sound box using the trellis. The Adafruit trellis is a 4x4 button pad. And I think, was it last year or 2 years ago? It's been updated to have RGB LED NeoPixels. So we thought we'd revise the design to have some newer components, particularly the NeoPixel Neo Trellis. So, so the Neo Trellis. Yeah, thank you. It's hard for me to focus. It's just a cool song. So this one, let's open it up. Let's see what we got here. So we got that iridescent cover, very cool. And it's using the snap fit design, which we have a layer by layer tutorial on how to do these type of designs where you can have snap fit covers. So this one is a little bit different, as it has, instead of having a sound, an Adafruit soundboard, effects soundboard, we're using the Prop Maker Featherwing. Prop Maker Featherwing is cool because it has a lot of stuff built into it, and it makes wiring a lot easier. So it has a built-in RGB resistors, so you can power RGB LEDs, even 3-watt RGB LEDs, and that's what I'm using here for the button. And it already has a built-in amplifier, so you don't have to have an external amplifier because it's built into the Prop Maker wing. It's meant to do sound effects and motion activation. So it has a built-in accelerometer. So we have that, we have the amplifier, and we have all the components for doing RGB LED stuff, so that's awesome. So that's what's running. And on the bottom of it is the Feather M4, which runs CircuitPython really well. This would work with the M0 as well, but I'm using the M4 just for the speed. Another cool thing is the bottom here also snap fits, and we have access to the USB port. We have a nice toggle switch. So there's the Feather. Really like using the JST connectors to wire everything, because when you're assembling something that's embedded, you want to be able to disconnect your components. It makes it a little bit more modular as well. So definitely recommend using those JST connectors. They are built into the Prop Maker wing, and there's also some pinouts for adding your own. So yeah, so just about all the components are using these JST connectors that just plug in. Cool. For the battery, because it's a Feather, it has built-in Lipo charging. So I have this battery here. It's a 1200 milliamp battery. And if I want to recharge it, all I have to do is plug into here. This is the micro USB port for the M4. All of Adafruit Feathers have built-in USB charging. And yes, you can recharge while using the thing, while the device is active. So the toggle switch turns it on. And it's running a couple of demos. So this is running CircuitPython, latest version. And it's just playing an audio WAV file in the background. You can quickly change that out, because when you load this up on your computer, it loads like a USB flash drive. So you can quickly change the code, change the libraries, or the assets like this audio file. So that's just looping. And then I wanted to throw in there the RGB LED library that Brent worked on, also Katney. So whenever we push one of these buttons, this RGB LED that's inside of the button will change colors. It's kind of using the random, so it's a bit hard to see the different colors, but this is an RGB LED that's inside the button. It comes like that, and they just wire it straight into the Prop Maker Featherwing. So that's the RGB LED library. You got the audio library running as well. That's what's playing in the song. And then this is the Neo Trellis library. And this is actually some demo code that Kirby worked on. It changes the colors as you press them. They change different colors, and then if you hold down this button and then push one of these, it clears it out. So it's just a quick demo to show the different libraries and stuff. Now, I have Mike Barella, who's on the Adafruit team, helping me out with writing some really cool code. We're thinking that maybe you can shake it, would shuffle the sounds and the pixels.
That'd be so cool.
And that'd be really cool. And another really neat way is to how do you assign WAV files to each individual button pad. So we're working through how to do that. If you guys have any cool ideas, you can let us know in the Discord. But yeah, another cool thing I thought would be interesting is to break out the reset button. I'm doing a lot of CircuitPython updating a lot, so to break out the button is always a nice thing. All of the Adafruit Featherwings have pinouts for the reset button and extra round pins. And the way it's mounted in there is it just rests on this little edge. I might do a little bit of layer on it because I thought that was pretty interesting, the way that this little metal tack button just rests on that ledge, and it's not glued or anything. You can still pop it out.
Are you using the legs to?
Yeah, the legs actually kind of grip onto the little ledge there. Yeah,
really good technique.
Sweet. So let's take a look at the real quick construction of it as I'm prototyping it. So I thought it'd be interesting to share that.
You got suggestions from Andy Calloway saying it needs a volume control.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea.
It's super loud for a little tiny box. Yeah, what is this? The oval speaker?
It's that mini oval speaker, yeah. The little mini oval speaker. They are pretty loud. You can adjust the volume on the trim pot, or you can add your own and break it out. You can do that there. So the video we're looking is just kind of prototyping. So the way these two kind of trays sandwiched together, and these really tall 20mm brass standoffs are what would keep the two apart. So you have like this kind of CubeSat looking frame, and then that slots into the frame, and then you screw it in. So that's just a quick look at the construction. I'm working on a learn guide for it. We just finished the prototype, so we're going to start documenting and taking pictures of the build. Yay, machine screws. Yeah, these are the black nylon screws.
Yeah, you can't snap fit everything.
Yeah, I can't snap fit everything. That's right. Well, the top and the bottom are snap fit. I mean, that's really where you need to get in, right? You need to get into it. Sweet, so that is a work in progress. We also have some updates. Let's jump into shop talk, I guess, or are we still prototyping? Probably prototype, because they're released.
It's
so like shop talk. They're released.
What are we talking about here? Mine?
Yeah, we've got some feather wings.
So Lamar is working on some really cool code for adding the airlift onto the PyBadges. So she wanted an updated case that supports headers on the back. So she didn't want the controller, the little game stick controller that we made last week, but it's a good point to bring up that those parts are compatible with the ones that released last week with the joystick ones. Those are gonna still work with the back covers for these, and you'll still have room to add, I didn't add it on this one, but the little slide switch that can control the volume for the super loud speakers as we've seen on there. Super loud. So nice little update. I did have to do some updates for the walls on there, and she requested it to optimize the cutouts here, so the printer didn't have to struggle printing those little, because I like to separate these. You can kind of see it in this design here.
You got some overhang?
Yeah, not all printers can print really nice overhangs, but
you don't have to now.
Yeah, you don't have to now. You can just cut this out. And then I made the walls stronger for this, so it won't crack on you. And updated the footprint so you can fit an airlift on there. So you can add, I believe it's a Bluetooth Wi-Fi, I believe.
That's correct. It's the ESP32 co-processor.
Yes. So you can do wireless gaming with these.
Yeah, do some Wi-Fi connectivity, control some things.
Yeah, so you can be walking around the conference and have, like, say, your Twitter stats being updated and displayed, or your latest tweets or mentions or any of that type of stuff. Runs a lot of the same stuff that the Pi portal can run. So definitely a cool update for that. If you want to add the upgradability that we offer with the Featherwings, or the PyBadge and the PyGamer, which brings me over to your update as well for the PyGamer. Did the exact same thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
So this is the PyGamer, very similar to the PyBadge, and they both have headers. So I thought it'd be a good idea to also update the back header here. So I have that room over here that's open. Mine's a little bit different. I cut all of that open here, so you have all this area exposed. And I figured, what are some other Featherwings that would be fun to add and make sense? Because a prop maker wing, for example, it already has accelerometer, so what do I add to it? I add a buttload more pixels. So here's a 4x8 NeoPixel. Is it 4x8? 4x8 NeoPixel Featherwing. It just snaps on the back there. What's cool about it is this Featherwing will actually work in MakeCode Arcade. So this is the MakeCode Arcade demo, the Adafruit Blinka bouncing DVD logo demo. So I have that running. I'm going to play around with the focus a little bit. And so there they are, all turned on. So it's really easy to assign buttons and tell them to change the color of the NeoPixels. So that's really easy. So this kind of adds like this sort of cool, what do they call it with the cars? That they have those cool underlighting?
It's like ambient lighting or something like that. We actually had a tutorial on that for TVs when they didn't have that. So this is a nice little extension, bringing it to the modern age onto handheld devices. It's pretty cool.
A bunch of buttload of NeoPixels on the bottom of your PyGamer or PyBadge. But this could be a good component to the game. Maybe it flashes or something, or gives you some sort of indicator.
That'd be cool. Like if it turns red when like enemies coming around the corner or something like that.
Maybe it flashes you with some sort of extra sense. So that's pretty neat. Obviously this would look really cool at night. You get this really cool underlighting here. Is that what it's called, underlighting? And really easy to implement the Featherwings in your code, in your MakeCode. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
So there it is, shut off. All right, so another thing is I had to add this little circle here so I can take off the Featherwing.
I would like to add that to mine, but I am out of room. I'm out of geometry.
Yeah, this is the low profile headers that I cut myself. And it would stick out a little bit more.
You cut them yourself? Like,
yeah,
you trimmed them?
I trimmed it myself.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pain. Don't overdo that. I don't recommend it. Because then if you cut one too short, you're effed. So, Featherwings to our PyBadges and PyGamers. We got the spot there for the case. That's what we did. They're up on Thingiverse, right? We updated our Thingiverse pages, so they're there if you want to try it out.
Both are there. Grab those files.
Yeah.
And then I think I talked about it last week. Quickly mentioned it, having the just because it came up again with the trellis boxes, loud audio. Wanted to add a little slide switch to the PyGamers. All it is basically just attaching a slide switch to the ground on that, and all it's doing is tripping it. So it's so the PyBadge or Gamer, and you can do this with any speaker. It just thinks it's being unplugged. So you can hear that. It's on, and when you turn it off, it's supposed to cut over to the buzzer, but I think I blew it out.
Blew out the buzzer?
The built-in buzzers that are on the PyBadges. Actually, let me demo it with this one. I think should be good, just so you can tell the audio differences between the built-in buzzer and the oval speaker. So I believe that's the built-in buzzer, and when I turn it on, a lot more louder.
Yeah, too loud.
So yeah, definitely a lot more quieter. So if you're playing in public areas or when you're driving and your spouse is telling you to turn that off.
Turn down that 8-bit chiptune.
So definitely check it out. Nice little technique that should work on anything that has a speaker built in.
So, all right, well, those are the updates to the cases. And,
Checking out the notes.
I think
here.
we're ready for
Community Makes.
Notes, huh? Sweet. This week we time-lapsed a Raspberry Pi 4 case designed by Andy Leer.
Yes.
This is up on Micro Center's blog post.
I believe we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But here is the 3D time lapse.
Right.
And it's a nice little enclosure. I did see on Twitter that some people did print this out and they were able to add the Pi hat attachments to the top. They should fit. I didn't try it with our Cricut Raspberry Pi hat attachment to this to see if it works. I think we're still out of stock on those, but definitely should fit if they, the people who posted on Twitter, they have the same footprint to these, should fit.
Cool. Let's take a look
at
it overhead.
Some people were suggesting to add a fan to it, and then some other people were saying, well, with the logo cut out, it should be okay. Shouldn't get that hot unless you're doing some crazy processing stuff. For the blog posts that come out every 3D Thursday, tomorrow, there are a couple of cases already released on Thingiverse that have the fan attachments on there. So you can definitely modify those. What I like about this design is that it uses layer by layers to create the snap fit. If I can get these out, let's see these little tabs that have these little ridges right here that snap into the opposite little nubs on this side. And you don't need any hardware for these. Since he is using these tiny little posts to align the standoffs.
They fit through the mounting
hole? Or the through holes? Yeah, the mounting holes, sorry.
Sweet.
That's a small. Let's print on the Prusa Mark IIs.
Mark IIs. Let's take a look at the texture. This is printed on a powder-coated PEI bed, and that's the type of texture you're gonna get. Kind of looks sandblasted, doesn't it?
Yeah, what I like is that it doesn't look like it's 3D printed. It looks like it's like an injection molded part. That nice texture on there.
Yes. Yeah, you don't see any of the separation of the lines. It just looks like one solid injection.
Like fused.
Yeah. One solid surface.
Yeah, look at that.
Very nice.
Very nice.
This is the powder-coated PEI bed that you can get from Prusa or Matterhackers, I believe.
Matterhackers, yeah. So you can update printers that originally did not come with those. So super awesome case. Oop.
Yeah, while you do that, I'll look at the webpage. It's a blog post on Micro Center.
Yep, you can check out the files there. I don't think there is a Fusion file, so definitely probably give them a shout out
if you want.
If you want to edit the Fusion file.
Sweet. Excellent. Cool. We got some more community makes this week as we kind of ramp up. This is the Energy Halo.
Halo.
Why do I keep saying Halo? The Halo Energy Sword. Hello. This looks really cool. This was uploaded by Necro133 on Thingiverse. And this was printed on a Leonardo 3D printer. I think it's PLA. Yeah, PLA. And shout out. Thank you. Looks great. Sweet. So if you want to print your own Halo Energy Sword, you totally can. We got the files up there with the build instruction.
Oh wait, this is the fully printed one that I made?
Yeah, man.
Wow. I assumed it was the one that gets modded. Yeah, this was a very fun build.
Yeah.
Awesome, looks great.
Bright. Yeah, super cool. We got an Octoprint rig. This is using the Adafruit Pi TFT, the 3.5-inch TFT. We put a little case together and a little stand so the folks that are using this screen and the Raspberry Pi to monitor and host their 3D printer. It's a great little addition to any 3D printer. So we got that. And Bruce69 over here on Thingiverse uploaded his make of it.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. I like how he printed out the those little credit things.
Still gonna make one for the Prusa.
Yeah. Really simple animatronic tail. This was a cool project in collab with Philip Burgess. It's a little box that houses a little micro servo and a trinket, I believe. And this way you can create a really simple animatronic tail. That's actually not really simple. It's actually really complicated.
I was going to
The
say,
code is
definitely
really
check out the guide for this because there's a lot of maths that went into making the pendulum and all this stuff, the way to make it look like a realistic moving tail.
Great for cosplay, films, and
not great as a dog toy.
yeah, don't do that. Oh yeah, he ate it.
He completely chewed it up.
He found it and chewed it up. And there we go. That's what happened to a furry tail. Cool. Yeah. So Bruce 61 posted that one. Sweet. And then Roberto put together an OpenSCAD design for the trellis faceplates. So you can create your own faceplate, and it's parametrically driven with the values and parameters inside of OpenSCAD.
Cool.
You can use the customizer app as well.
Oh, nice.
To
you can go in there,
preview the LED
edit
patterns
the values
before soldering them to the board. Oh, okay, that's what it's for. Sweet. Just kind of preview those colors. Sweet. This is for the monochrome version. So very nice. Oh, that is really cool. You can change all the colors here. Sweet.
That's awesome.
So a good example, a good project in the customizer and OpenSCAD. That's this week's Community Makes. If you guys like to share anything with us, you can do so in the Discord or in the Shellsol channels. Discord. I forgot to shout out my Discord friends. They're here.
I think everyone's
Everybody's
asleep.
sleeping. Everybody's sleeping in the chat.
It's still summer here in the States.
Yep. And back over to Diffraction coupon code. 10% off your order. I think it's fine.
That's right. Everything should be coming back in stock. Remember that there will be no orders shipped Thursday. Tomorrow is Independence Day, 4th of July. All the fireworks go off, which is kind of funny that we were showing last year. We were showing off a igniter for fireworks. This year we're just showing these nice little sparkle effects that you can get.
Yeah, get some fireworks on your service.
Yeah.
Sweet. One last thing I want to talk about is the Adafruit Airlift. If you want to pick that one up, there's 4 in stock right now. And you can still get the, and you can still get the 10% off coupon code on it. Because we're using it in projects, I figured I'd throw together a 3D model of the Airlift Featherwing. So here it is. It's on GitHub. I also have a blog post about it. We make these with EagleCAD. Lamar uses EagleCAD, and I export them out into Fusion 360 and map all the components. Sometimes I got to redraw all the components, but you can find those on GitHub. Yeah, interesting. It's got the ESP32 module, a new RGB LED.
I was going to say,
LED
mention that. It looks so cool.
And all the resistors and stuff on it. Comes as the STL step Fusion 360 file as well, and this little GIF here, so you can preview it.
Yep.
And it's got all the
reminder.
This one doesn't have a custom solder mask. It had just the logos, which I already have, which makes it a little easier.
Nice.
Sweet. There it is, Airlift. I also linked it to over here. You can download the schematic, the 3D file, and our fritzing part if you want to come up with some wiring diagrams if you'd like.
Yep.
All our files are free and open
As a
source.
reminder, with all of our files, just go to the guide, go to the product page. You can download all the STLs. You can get the schematics for that. You can get the Ego files. You get the laser cut acrylic case. You can get DMGs, the SVGs. You can see all our logos. You can get all of that. So we give it all away.
Sweet. Welcome to open source.
Yes, but we can only do this. Use that coupon code. 10% off your order. Like you were saying before, it expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. There will be another discount code later today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow? No, it's tonight.
Tonight.
For the unboxing of AdaBox 12.
Yeah, I need to update this, but yeah, tonight we have a show and tell live stream where we invite folks from the community to come on and share their projects, show us what you're working with, and it happens on the YouTubes. We'll have a link in the Discord and in the YouTube chat, so you can join.
Reminder, this is how we got our job. So
Yeah,
you show a really cool project off, we'll give you some free gear to maybe expand on the project. If you write a guide for us, pay you for that. We have budget for a lot of this stuff, so definitely don't be scared.
And welcome all the new authors. You know who you are.
We are definitely adding authors every single week. We're hiring a PHP developer in the New York area. If you're remote, maybe send in your resume.
Right, we're gonna go into the jobs.
Yeah.
We also we like helping people get jobs so much that Lamar and Phil.
That's actually what the show and tell is. It's a recruiting show.
We also have a jobs board. Go to jobs.adafruit.com. This is our gift to the community. Folks can create a free profile, and you can meet all the different companies out there that are looking for makers. Because there's a lot of different unique maker projects out there. And we figured we'd offer a platform for folks, both companies and makers, to share their stuff. So check out jobs.adafruit.com and make your profile. It's free. Sweet.
Really.
We also have newsletters. If you want to check out adafruitdaily.com, we have newsletters for CircuitPython, 3D printing, biohacking, and more. This, you got to opt into that one, so go to the website, adafruitdaily.com.
That's right, not connected to your account, so you have to sign up separately for these. And like you were saying, daily tips, tricks, and all of the info behind the scenes, stuff that's going on in Adafruit.
Yep.
And the community.
We got same-day delivery for folks that are in the New York City area. We're able to do this because we got some stuff with UPS, I think. Whatever. Check it out. If you want same-day delivery, you got to be in New York City. Certain zip codes apply, but we do have that as an option. The CircuitPython meetings happen every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. This is where you can join in on the Discord server and listen into all the CircuitPython devs, chat it up, and all the people from the community as well.
Really good way to contribute is just by giving suggestions or testing out some of the new betas that have come out. And just having your voice heard on any stuff you might find. Yep.
It's also posted as an archive in the YouTubes and all podcast places as well.
Yep, that's in the Discord, right up there, discord.gg/Adafruit. Go ahead and join the, I forget how many, it's like
thousands.
6,000 now members?
I think so.
That are humans, not robots.
Yeah, Discord.
24-hour help, chatting, different categories, everything from 3D printing, CircuitPython, to Arduino, to teachers help, to 3D printing help. So much, so many channels.
Yeah.
Even like a channel on sharing pictures of your animals, dogs, cats, fish.
Yeah. Fish.
Really good discussion in there. 24/7.
CircuitPython.org, fastest place to get CircuitPython on your hardware, on compatible hardware. Also, hardware from the community is up on the site as well.
If you've got CircuitPython compatible, get all the latest bootloaders there. There's always new bootloaders and updates.
New board a week. It's awesome. Yeah, CircuitPython snaking its way onto hardware. Sweet. I think that's going to be it for the show. Don't forget, we do this show every Wednesday. That's today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Yay. Let's see what else we have.
I believe that's
it.
it.
John Park is going to do it tonight.
Tonight, yes. So he's taken over the Ask an Engineer spot for doing the AdaBox unboxing.
There.
So stay tuned for that right after the show and tell.
That's right. 7:30 p.m. tonight.
Super awesome. Don't want to miss all the awesome projects he's been working up for that. So cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for this week. Thank you all for joining us.
Whoops. This one.
Huge shout outs to everybody in the community, everybody in the chat room.
Yeah, thanks you guys for joining and sharing and just being good people. We really appreciate it.
Yes, don't forget to follow Adafruit and us to see all the behind the scenes, all the projects that we're currently working on for next week, next month, all that stuff.
Yeah. And we'll see you later tonight. Don't forget, coupon code is Diffraction. We'll have another one later tonight.
So you guys don't forget to
make a great day.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks. Should I play this one?
Which one?
This one, the 404.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
This is when you
our moment of,
don't level your bed correctly. Here's what happens.
Here's our moment of fail. We'll see you guys next week and tonight.
Check out that fail.
Yeah. This is fun. What's going on? I just hear like crackling in the background. What's going on? I come over and like, oh.
Well, at least it didn't rip off.
Yeah, it did pretty good on the first layer, you know? Look at that. It's like, it's like. All right. If at first you don't succeed, you know, just try again. Thanks, folks. We'll see you. Bye.